I don't create anything for you. I open up the possibilities and converse or connect with your higher self or your spirit to go, okay, how do we get this person to their highest level? Simple as that. Sajati, welcome to my podcast, Exponential Intelligence. This topic is that can Moss be wrong? And I say, well, no, but people might say different. So say that I analyze you, right? And we're in a session and I go, in about 2-3 months, something's going to happen to you, and then it doesn't happen, right? Why does that happen, right? Again, I'm not 100% accurate, but the general theme, the general trend for you is accurate for you each and every time, right? So let me explain the differences or the times that I'm wrong, okay, in several conditions. And it depends, and we've done studies on this where I've written down, say, in X time, this will happen for a person, and just, again, handed it to somebody. And we've kept track, we've kept studies, and I'm accurate, I'm consistently accurate. But where does it go wrong? So, and again, it depends on you. Over the years, I've learned to hone on who I tell and who I don't tell certain time frames. So if you've heard me on sessions and so on like that, I go, well, I can't tell you because you're time disoriented. Well, I won't tell you a time frame. So say that I go, oh, by June something will happen to you, and then June passes and then nothing happens to you. But then later on, it might happen like 2-3 months later, or maybe a month before that I tell you. So where's the discrepancy? Okay, it depends on how you bend time. Simple as that. So in the most convenient or the most opportune time, that's what I analyze in you. So there's a possibility that X will happen for you, and within that possibility or probabilities that are available to you, there are time frames, there are time segments, and some possibilities or probabilities do have different time segments attached to them if, in certain conditions. And again, that's the best possibility, or that's the best scenario for you. But say that you're time distorted. So what does time distortion mean? Well, say that you worry a lot. You literally hold back time, okay? Or say that you want a guarantee. You're not going to move forward until you're guaranteed that you know what you're stepping into, right? You know the next step. Say that you're always in a time crunch, right? So again, one aspect is like you're holding back time. So in those scenarios, like I said, right, you want a guarantee, you're fearful, you're scared to expand into yourself. It's like trying to be on stage, right? You're going to get onto the stage of your life if you fulfill that expectation or what I see in you, and then you would get scared or you freeze, again, distorting time. So when I say, again, if everything goes well, in 2 months X will happen to you, in the best possible scenario, if you say remove the time distortions, X will happen to you in the time that what I said. For those people who, again, are fearful and what I just described, you would pull back time. So it would happen much, much later for you, or whenever you released that expectation of fear that allows you to hold back. It is a nice ability to have to distort time, but you want to do it properly. The other aspect where people can do it, and this is where I use this for benefit, is like, hey, in X period of time, this is going to happen to you. And if you have that propensity to go, hell, 4 months, I can do it in 2 months, right? Because you get pushed, you get dared, right? It's like I dare you. So sometimes I do. I go, shit, this is going to take you, much longer than I actually see it happening for you. And then for those people who have that daring complex, what would happen is that, shit, Moss said like 8 months, I'm going to do it in 6. So in reality, it would be, say, the 6-month mark that I would see in you. But just to hasten you forward, because we're using whatever tool that you need to get you, towards the direction, I would say, hey, this is going to take you 8-9 months. And then you're going to do it in 6 months, again, which would be accurate, but then you would think that I would be wrong. Other aspects are people who get motivated, okay? People who get motivated on knowing the outcome of something, right? And they prepare. So that aspect of it is there as well. I tell them that, they're going to go to, I don't know, an exotic location in 4 months. So what do? Right? These individuals, will get prepared. They'll go, shit, I got to get ready. I'm going to be on the beach. I'm going to exercise. I'm going to eat right. I'm going to prepare myself. I might tan a bit so I don't get burned. Again, they prepare, and it's a psychological motivation for them to prepare. But so by the time that time frame reaches, they're prepared to go into it. There's the other aspect of that is I say, hey, you're going to go to an exotic location. So that blend of frequencies or people, what would happen there is like, well, fuck it. I know that I'm going there in, Mas said, I'll go there in like 4 months. I'm going to go to an exotic location. I'm just going to do whatever the hell I want. And then it's just going to happen anyway. Okay. It doesn't work like that. It just doesn't work like that, because again, you're expecting that probability to carry you forward. You, at the level that you would be at, you wouldn't have the propensity to materialize what it took you, because you just eliminated, say, the connection or the motivation to get you to that point, because you went to a different direction. So for those individuals, I wouldn't tell you what's ahead of you in the future. Other aspects of it is if I say, well, and this happens, not often, but enough to talk about it. People come to me and say, hey, Mas, I just met this, new person in my life. Is he good for me? And I go, and I analyze it, and it's like, yeah, he's good for you, right? And by the way, sometimes I don't see, nowadays I see accurately, but so back in the day, I might not see certain objectives, okay? Back in the day, I would not see certain objectives because I wouldn't have the filters to filter out if I should tell you or not. But now I've honed that, because I would have to read you at a deeper level to go, oh, okay, this is beneficial, this isn't beneficial for you. So nowadays, I would understand. So I would understand that I would go, in that situation, I would say, yes, this is a great relationship, but deep inside, I would see, okay, it's probably going to be the worst experience that this person has ever had. So, and it's like, well, shit, that's not fair. Why do that? Why lie? Is it a lie? I don't see it as lying, because if it's going to push you to your grandest self, well, even if it is a lie for you, it's beneficial for you, and it's your trajectory. It's not me making the decision. It's basically your higher self telling me not to tell you, so you can move to your highest trajectory. I don't create anything for you. I open up the possibilities and converse or connect with your higher self or your spirit to go, okay, how do we get this person to their highest level? Simple as that. So in those scenarios, again, hey, Mas, is this person good for me? I go, hell yeah, they're good for you, right? And then you go through, and it's a nightmare date. Now, if it was physically threatening for you, obviously, I would say something, but it would be a nightmare date for you, right? Probably the worst possible date that you could have, and it's happened before. And it's like, Mas, what the hell? You told me this person was going to be good for me, but it turned out to be the worst date possible. But about, a bit later, they think about it, and because of that experience, they've totally transformed their ideations of how they see relationships. It's totally transformed. It's woke them up. It's kicked them in the ass, because some people need an ass kicking. It's simple as that. And I'm not going to kick your ass. It's not my spot, but your higher self will. And that's how you get kicked in the ass by your higher self and go, shit, all right, I won't do that anymore. Straight out. So from there on, it was beneficial for you, and then you go forward. Other aspects of it as well, and this is a real life case, is that some people ask me for business advice, and it's the same thing. It's if the business for you is not beneficial for you to ascend higher, okay, and create wealth the proper way, I might say the exact same thing. And I would go, hey, Mas, should I, and this is a real case, it's like, hey, Mas, should I invest, I think it was like $10 million or something in this business? And I said, yeah, right? 3 months later, the gentleman's businesses, both of them, just went bankrupt, okay? Obviously, very, very annoyed at me, very pissed. But again, friendly, because he's had so much, massive transformations. About 6 months later, he got into an industry that he actually loved. Okay? Again, that's the key. If it's not beneficial for you to be your higher order of who you are, no matter what you do, again, the benefits at this physical world is far less than the benefits at the higher world or the higher consciousness that you should be at. Again, so within 6 months, he got into an industry that he totally loved, and he just blossomed so well, found the right person, and in about a year and a half, he made more money within that time than ever before. And he was literally years younger. He had found the love of his life, and the person had children. So again, like instant kids, because he'd always wanted instant kids. So all those aspects worked out, and he could spend time with the love of his life and his kids now. So again, am I wrong? Sure, I could be wrong. Again, I'm not saying I'm 100% accurate, but the general theme on where you need to go, that's always accurate. The other aspect of reading your mind is that how can I read or analyze your algorithms or your patterns by just, on, like, for example, Moss on Sundays, all you need to do is say, hey, Moss, scan me. And then I can tap into you and very accurately, again, analyze you. And you don't have to use your name. You don't have to use your real name. You don't have to use your real picture. Although if I did look at your picture, that little tiny picture, and that's why I don't, you could be a guy and have a girl's picture, and I would still analyze you, again, at a conscious level or a physical level. It might confuse me a little bit, but overall your general trends would be the same for you. So how do I do that, right? Again, when somebody goes, hey, Moss, can you scan me? And I just tap into you just like that. So think of it this way. If you have, say like, I don't know, say like call 1-800-accountant, right? So the underlying numbers of accountant is the same, whatever it might be, right? But there are different possibilities as far as the alphabet that those numbers could transfer into, kind of like an IP address. So like 1-800-accountants, there's an actual digital number that never changes, right? Although those numbers could spell something else. So the same thing here is that no matter what you do through a text, you don't have to say anything else. I don't have to know who the text came from, but your IP address or your personal frequency signature is embedded into the message that you sent out. So from that, I don't connect with anything physical. I don't connect with your picture, so I don't need your picture. I don't need your name. I don't need your date of birth. I don't need anything like that, because those are all physical attributes of who you are, okay? So I might be off even on your sex. If you're running, say, a feminine frequency and you're a man, I would pick you up as a female frequency. But again, it's more accurate than who you are, because for the most part, you would tend to run, say, feminine frequencies, according to your IP address or your personal frequency signature. Again, I connect to your spirit or your pure presence versus the facade that is created, say, at the lower levels. And that's why I don't need anything physical from you to read who you are. There's people that can go, hey, Moss, I have a friend. And that's all they need to do. So how do I do that? Well, it's kind of like server hopping. If you know about how the internet works, I pop into your, say, server, your, say, consciousness, and then from there, I connect to the friend that you're thinking about, and then from there, I can, again, read beyond what you understand about your friend. Okay? So again, it's a hop and then into the consciousness of that other person.